Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever time you're watching. Thank you for being here. Hello, hello, hello. My name's Holly, psychic medium, blah, 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 intro stuff. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to being here with me today. If so inclined, please subscribe to the channel. And if you like the video, great. And if you don't, well, there's a million of us on YouTube right now. So, but I notice the subscriptions go up and down, sometimes quite a bit, much like my hair going everywhere. Anyway, all right, so here's what we're doing. I am mainly an energy reader, and I am, I am an energy reader, but for general readings, and this is a general reading, so please hear that. This is a general reading. It cannot all resonate, but if it does, great. I feel like with this one, for someone out there, it's going to resonate for someone you know, where you're going to be like, oh, that's my friend. I know what's going on there. So, yeah, it could be that kind of thing. But the message is also just understand that people will come to things in their own time, in their own way. So this is a message for someone coming in on the airwaves. Understand that as much as you want to help someone, you're not going to be able to until they are ready to receive the help. And that could be in terms of a communication or actions, whatever. And while I'm on that, also always remember to ask your spirit to intervene, ask for spirit guides to intervene, guides and guardians, and ask them. This is what I do. You do whatever you want to do. You don't have to do what I'm saying, but just what I do is I always ask for my guides and helpers and my higher power. Please guide all of my words, actions, thoughts, words, thoughts, and deeds. That's the easiest way to put it. Words, thoughts, and actions. Okay. For the highest good of all. Okay. Because sometimes we think we're helping when we're really just taking away we're taking away the ability to learn a lesson from someone else. Okay, so someone needed to hear that. All right, onward and maybe, I don't know if upward or if it's a linear fashion or what, but onward we go. So, positive vibes. Hello, voice, please come back. All right, positive vibes, and I love the hand with the heart and it's kind of a rainbow, but it's mainly, I see it as a sunbow because of the colors. It doesn't have the whole spectrum in there, but I love it, and I gravitated toward this one immediately this morning, and I think I need it as much as anybody because, man, I was grumpy this morning. And the cats were very active and a lot to do to get them all sorted and taken care of. And I am grateful to be able to do it. And I'm grateful that I have them to do it for, if that makes sense. But still, it's okay to be grumpy and admit, I'm just plain old grumpy. And then figure out, how to get over it, how to get past it, how to get through it, and how to move on. Okay? That is, sorry, I was slurping. But that's not an energy you want to stay in, It's okay to feel what you're feeling, but if you don't like what you're feeling, just say, "Ooh, I don't like what I'm feeling." Enough of that. So let's get, I'm also very drawn to nature and fairy energy or elemental fae energy today. And so I pulled this one out, Oracle of the Fairies by Karen Kay. It's just a pretty deck, and it's kind of what I would call the feel-good deck. And one more time. So it's, what support or message does the collective need to hear from our fairy allies? What is the message, or what is the support we need? What is it that we need to know from our fairy allies? They said that's not going to do it. I need to just open it up. Oh. Okay. All right. So, yeah. Okay. So there are three. The way they came out There was one on one side, one on the other side, and they wanted me to take the other one underneath. And I just listen. I just do whatever they tell me to do. Spirit knows more than I do. All right, light. The fairy queen of light comes to shed love and light onto your current situation to remind you that light can penetrate the darkness. So I just need to call in a little of that loving fairy energy and love and light into my grumpy morning. So there we go. How beautiful. I love these cards. They just make me feel good. All right. And then we went from that to transformation. So, this fairy tells you to surrender to a transformation in your life that's happening for your highest good. Embrace your transformation. The best is yet to come. Okay. So, with the general vibe of the morning, aside from my grumpiness, I've noticed that I've just been, it's like I am physically worn out and just kind of struggling, and nothing bad, but I'm just noticing little oddities and weird things, that started to give me cause for concern. But this card makes absolute and total sense. So if you are, first of all, go to the doctor, get yourself checked out. That's always a good idea. But I feel like we are going through a transformation. I feel like we are going through a transformation that is even a physical transformation. And so if any of you have experienced this, I would like to hear about it in the comments. So it's almost like an evolution. Help me out, Spirit. It's an evolution of the outward to reflect the inward. So we are, I feel like there's a group in the collective, and I feel like it's I'm going through it too, so I understand. It's almost physically uncomfortable, but I feel like there's a group in the collective who's going through what I'm hearing is molecular and cellular transformation to bring us to a new place. If you are a practitioner and the way you read, or if you are an artist, or if you are I get someone in the legal field too. If you're your law practice, or if you are a detective, or I feel like it's not so much with that line. It's more of a like private investigations. I know that's wild. How often do you hear about that? But it's out there. I feel like the work is changing. I feel like the work in a lot of fields, it's changing. And I think readers and people dealing with any kind of investigative work or legal work, it's changing radically. That's an odd combination. That's a really odd combination. But the changes are happening. There are molecular and cellular changes happening that will lead us to a place where the flow of information is just seamless. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to ask. It's just there. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know. All right, and then the third card, motivation. Woo, we could all use a little motivation. Look at the colors. Look how rich and deep these are. Aren't they beautiful? So in case you missed it, this is the Fairy Oracle by Karen Kay. All right, this is what the back looks like. That key is important. I noticed the key this time too. All right, motivation. When spring approaches, the flower fairies urge you to spring into action. Oh, don't play on words. If there's something you've been merely thinking about doing, they say get busy and do it. So I think this is the time frame. So we're looking at a little less than a year, but still a good bit of time. So we've got the rest of summer, which we just entered, autumn and winter. And I feel like we're laying the groundwork. So this is the long-term plan. The transformations we're going through right now will help us and of course, I'm just talking about the seasons in this hemisphere. If you're in a different hemisphere, well then, reverse that. So this is it's a time of, it's like I see a road being built, but it's like the old cobblestone brick roads, brick by brick. It's these bricks are being laid down in a fashion. You're building the road to take you where you want to go. And in this instance, some of it is the physical, again, cellular level. Memory is coming up, memories. You might start having some past life bleed over. Understand and ask yourself, is this lifetime? Is this coming from someone else, or is this coming from a previous lifetime? Time frames, gosh, this is bizarre, but I didn't know this was all coming up. I have a feeling there's going to be some overlapping of time in terms of timelines, time frames. Making peace, that came up too, making peace before. So I think it's also going to be making peace with past issues from past lifetimes, learning the truth of who you really are, coming into a place of peace and abundance and wellness. It's almost like we are, excuse me, ending a cycle that's been going on for many lifetimes. So we have been building on, and this is for everybody in the collective, or well, not everybody, most people in the collective. Again, it's a general reading. Everybody's going to be at different places in their lifetime evolutionary path, let's say. So lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, you've come in and built lesson upon lesson upon lesson. This is sort of the pinnacle of all those lifetimes, to shift, change, break a mold or a pattern or repetitive pattern. That's it. Breaking a repetitive pattern. Little big old girl there. So repetitive patterns that are leading you to the next cycle of possibly lifetimes, or rounding out this as your last lifetime. I think there's an option in there. There's always an option. You don't have to come back. I really don't believe that you have to do that. There is no karmic retribution cycle kind of thing. You make peace after every lifetime and understand if you come back, it's because you want to build on the lessons learned and learn more. But, so I hope this makes sense. So we are coming to an evolutionary cycle of closure built upon lifetime after lifetime after lifetime of evolution and messages. And we are now, I think, for not all, hear that, but for many, coming into a new cycle where we say, this is it, this is the closing of a cycle, it's the last lifetime, or we are closing out this cycle and getting ready to loop into a whole new series of lifetimes with a totally different vibration, a totally different energy, and we feel physically the shift of that. Wow. I didn't see that coming at all this morning. Well, there you go. All right, what deck should I pull? I feel like, okay, so the Shaman's Dream Oracle, as I've mentioned before, I have kind of a love-hate relationship with this and with this deck, and I'm sorry, I just saw somebody coming up to, all right, so I have sort of a love-hate relationship with this deck. It's fascinating, it's cool, but sometimes I just don't resonate with it, and then sometimes I do. So today's one of those days when it's like, this is the deck I need to use. All right, so let's get the going with this. They said pull that one off the top. I'm going to keep it face down. Clarifier, the one on the bottom, keep it face down so I have no idea. And that's it for now. Okay. See, I don't know. All right, so the one they wanted me to pull. Okay. Fool's Embrace, Transmuting Pain. Card 22. Let's see what the clarifier is. Moon Maiden, New Beginnings, card 41. Okay. I think it kind of confirms the message I just had. With these cellular changes, there is some level of discomfort that I mentioned. Sometimes just plain old uncomfortable to the point of being painful. Fool's Embrace. They're growing pains. Now, I know this isn't probably what is the meaning. I'm not looking at the book. I'm just, Fool's Embrace, Transmuting Pain. Look at that being. Wings, not quite human, but yet a humanoid form. Transmuting Pain, card 22, on master number. And when you add these together, if you wanted to add them, like, all right, 4, and then this adds up to 5. So evolution. So I feel like this is a confirmation. Even though you are feeling uncomfortable, perhaps, and some of you may not. Some of you may be in your prime and you're just on cruise control and loving life. And that is fantastic. And I'm so thrilled for you. Maybe you've already been through this process, or it's not time for this process. But one way or the other, I just keep hearing cellular growth and evolution. So there's more happening than you realize. And they're saying, let the mystery unfold. And that's my key for don't push too hard, but we're just going to help you understand what's happening so that you don't freak out. Because that's usually what I tend to do. Overthink things. So, Fool's Embrace. Be like a child. Walk with spirit. Take a rest when you need. This is almost like a fetal position. Rest when you need. Listen to your body. Listen to the calling of... Okay, it's like growing pains. It's like growing pains for an adolescent. And if someone is recovering from a flu, what is the first thing you do? You don't say, hey, go cut the grass, go run a mile, go do whatever. It's rest, drink fluids, eat well, take care of yourself, just rest. Rest is healing. So I feel like that's the message. Allow the transition to happen. Allow the transformation to happen. You will know when it's time to get busy and do everything that needs to happen, and you'll know when it's time to rest. This is one of those instances where it is of critical importance to listen to your body. Because, and the clarification card, Moon Maiden, New Beginnings. Let me get this up closer. Those initials, MM. If anyone has initials MM, for some reason I feel like this is really striking, or you know someone with those initials, something is really striking about that. Anyway. New Beginnings. Look at the difference in this being going through the transformation and this being once the transformation has happened. It's almost like moving from the chrysalis and development into the more ethereal form. So we are in an evolutionary process. I feel like tarot is not going to, or the other oracle cards. I feel like this is one of those readings where it's almost kind of nebulous to grab and hold on to, because it is going to be slightly different for everyone. And there are yeah. Okay, I'm going to this is going to be a little shorter because I think we need to let it rest here. And again, the word rest. 1, listen to your body. 2, you don't have to make change all in one day or overnight. 3, make peace with your past so that you can move towards your future. 4, of course, go and get yourself checked out if you're having any physical issues, but also understand there is a growth and a change happening. And I'm also hearing what you can no longer stomach things any longer. So I know I'm just that could be part of, if there's any, again, go see a doctor. I am not a medical professional, but what is becoming too much of a burden for you to bear and weighing you down? What do you need to do to take care of yourself? Oh, and going back to, thank you, and going back to the first, one of the first messages, allow people to be on their own timeline. That's important. Allow people to be on their own timeline, because everybody will learn the lesson in their own time and in their own way. Your timeline and your time frame is not the same as theirs. So allow them the space and the right and the privilege to make mistakes. And hopefully they will rebound, because sometimes it doesn't matter what you say or what you do. People have to be willing to hear it and ready to hear it. Okay. I am getting one last message from the Angels and Auras deck. Ask for help. Ask for the transition to be gentle. Okay. See the humor. So this one just kind of opened up. See the humor in situations. Boy, isn't that it? Okay, so let's see if we can get an actual shuffle and card here. So yeah, try not to take things so seriously. Do something that makes you smile and laugh. It alleviates the discomfort, and it helps to take your mind off things. And this one jutted out to the side. One we had yesterday. This is Archangel Uriel. So perhaps that's who we need to call on. I had a feeling it was going to be one of the Archangel cards that would pop out. So Archangel Uriel, help us to understand what we need to know. Help to guide us in this path and in this mission and on our way. And there was also another one sticking out from another part of the deck, and it said, Spirit said, take it. It's the same one from yesterday as well. Archangel Chamuel. So it's no coincidence we would have these same two cards 2 days in a row. Call on them, Chamuel or Chamuel and Uriel, and ask for help and guidance to ease this process. And I'm going to leave those face up, so I'll remember to do that too. To ease the process of transition, to help us understand the transition, to guide and direct us in all ways and at all times, to bring levity and light into our lives, to help us make peace with the past so we can move forward. And I keep seeing the word Jophiel or the name Jophiel, so that's another one to call on. I feel like Archangel Jophiel is also going to be of huge importance in terms of nurturing the self and self-care. So Uriel, Chamuel, and Jophiel. Okay, those are the three I would work with today if you were so inclined. And of course, Michael or Michael is always around to protect us in these endeavors so that you don't have to keep your guard up constantly. Sometimes it's hard not to, though. All right, everybody. I'm going to leave it on that note. You have four strong, angelic, divine beings that are the emissaries and the representatives of God, of the Creator, of all that is, to work with us, to help us. Jophiel, Chamuel, and Uriel. And then, of course, Michael. All right, everybody. I actually feel a lot more grounded and settled, too. And the grumpiness has thankfully left the building. Or it has left the building. All right. I am sending love to you all, and I am sending gratitude and thank you. And I think this evolutionary process is a good thing. I know this one was a little more on the esoteric side, but I think it's also indicative of how the work is changing. The work is definitely changing. The vibe is changing and the energy is changing. But I think it's becoming a lot more light-filled and positive. Okay? All right. Thank you. Be well. Take care of yourselves. Sit back, treat yourself to something good, and rest. Heal. Grow, change, all of those wonderful things. All right. And we will talk later. All right? Be well. Bye-bye.